Hello, Sovereign Jane Jenkins here, and I want to talk about some aspects of my book, P Policy. So, a lot of the lessons that I learned, I actually gained through watching my mother go through a divorce. You see, I was there through the entire process. I got to watch both sides, and she went through a divorce when I was around 4 years old, and I got to have an inside view of what was happening on both sides with my father, who I thought was my father. He was actually my stepfather, and what my mother was experiencing from him. You see, once he did something to trigger the official divorce in Mississippi, he would not give her anything. She didn't get her yearbook, she didn't get her sashes, she didn't get her gown, she didn't get her clothes. We literally left with nothing but the clothes on our back. Me, my brother, and my mother. And she essentially had to start all over by herself, and it was the first time that she was ever by herself. She didn't have that time alone. She went from her father's house straight to her husband's house. So she did not have that experience of how it was being a single mom, but she ended up being that in the end because she was in a tragic relationship and a toxic relationship where she was being cheated on constantly. Now, my mother isn't completely innocent because she was the type that she gonna get her lick back. And because she always chose to get her lick back, it was more detrimental to her mental health and her physical because she would be quick to start an argument and then it ended up getting physical in the end. But she was started because she knew that her then husband was philandering. He was just outside, he was in the streets. So I had to watch her deal with the cheater on a daily basis or a weekly basis, and I said to myself, this would not be me. And I wrote P policy because I ended up seeing some cycles that were repeating itself. Like every 2 to 3 months, my ex would start communicating with his ex girlfriend. And I told him to stop or I'm going to walk. And he said he would. But again, he kept doing it and kept doing it. And I should have walked that second time. But I did not know how to let go of a relationship because it was my first relationship. So I had to give myself grace. And in giving myself grace, I stayed when I should not have because this person did not deserve grace. He deserved the back of my head walking away. That's it. And because I know how detrimental cheating is, I knew better. So I can't necessarily blame my ex. I blame myself for staying when I saw the signs and they were red and blaring in the beginning because I already seen this stuff before. I watched my mom deal with somebody who did not respect her, who did not love her, who did not honor her as his wife, and she was his wife. So therefore, I should have walked, I should have known, and I should have prevented the situation from becoming as bad as it did get. Mind you, I am happy that I had that first experience, and that was my way of living out a fantasy that I always wanted a relationship. Like innately, I kind of did want to see what love was about. But the truth was, that wasn't love, it was addiction. I was addicted to the chemical cocktails of dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, and all the excitement that surrounded being in a relationship, even though I did not really like this person initially. And I'm talking, I literally used to cut him out of pictures that we would take and post the pictures online without his face in it. And I did that because I didn't see myself with him long term. It was just an in between time and a meantime type of relationship to me. And because of that as well, I had to pay a price because ultimately he knew the real reason why I did not post him in the picture was because I really wasn't that attracted to him on a physical level. Now, even though attraction wasn't there, eventually I was able to grow a attachment to him because I was spending so much time with him and I grew to love him despite not being attracted to him. So, if you get in a relationship and notice that you're not attracted to that man, do not stay in it because It could lead to you developing an attachment to where you can't leave. And then you find yourself going back and forth in your head about, okay, do I like him? Do I love him? Should I marry him? All of these questions could have been avoided, and I could have just been focusing on my career and living the life that I wanted to from the very beginning when I got out of college, because I ended up sticking around and staying in Mississippi after the relationship ended because I wanted to make sure he was okay, because he was living at home with his mother at that time, with his parents. And I had to literally put my dreams on hold and stay back with him. And looking back, all of that could have been avoided because he wasn't my person. And I knew it in my soul he wasn't my person. And that was outside of the fact that he kept contacting his ex. So the more of the story is, if you get with somebody and they keep contacting their ex, eventually they're going to cheat on you. So do not accept that. Leave it alone. And I remember my mother's relationship with her ex husband. He was contacting everybody, he was sleeping with her friends, cousins, and he just was a horrible husband. But I can't say my mother was a better wife, because she was probably a horrible wife, because that union just kept having so much friction because of they both were cheating on each other, but he started it. And I decided, like, for me, a man cheat on me, I don't want my lick back. I just want to heal and go on about my way on the opposite direction, because I know getting my lick back could lead to physical altercations, and that could lead to me going down the same path that my mother did, which is the reason why today she is legally blind. She lost her sight because she got hit so many times in the face and it caused optic neuritis, and she lost her sight in her left eye. I do not want that to happen to me. So, therefore, I leave when I get cheated on, or if somebody is about to cheat on me. Now I know the red flags. I don't stick around if somebody is contacting nobody in their past, no exes. I'm not sticking around for that. And people seem to think that that's harsh. No, it's not. That is adulting. That is knowing what you want and going for it. So if you know what you want and you know a relationship is not healthy, let it go. Let it go. I promise you, in the end, you'll be so much more happier. And good thing today that we're able to make decisions for ourselves and leave when someone is not respecting us and is not cherishing us and is not loving us correctly. So, in some cases, some people can work it out and be mature adults about it. But because of the trauma I had in the background from my past and watching my parents go through that, that's not me. And it never will be me. I am the type that I'm going to get my lick back one way or another eventually if I stay in that relationship. So you don't have to suffer. You can learn from other people's mistakes. You can get better and you can understand yourself. Because the thing about life is that there are no guardrails. There are a lot of women in jail for making decisions in a snap based off emotions, and they can never take that back. They end up getting into a altercation, they end up getting charged for a DV, and they can't undo that decision. And ultimately, it leads them down this path of life that's even more rough. And if they have children, the children are watching. And yes, the children see every little thing. Even when you think they are not watching, I promise you they are. I was. I remember everything from the time I was 3 all the way up to the end of that relationship. And guess what? That person, the guy that I thought was my father, we have no contact today. There was too much between him and my mom. And when he found out that I wasn't his daughter, he just took off. He left. And that triggered me to have fear of abandonment, because this was a parent that raised me, nourished me, loved me. He used to tell me he loved me every time he seen me and would kiss me and feed me. To go from that to just disappearing out of my life, and that was his choice, that was devastating. So in conclusion, be mindful of the people that you choose.